YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you with another J Talks Crypto. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. We're going to talk about some crypto today because a lot of unprecedented things happening. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff happening is historical. So if this is your first cycle, welcome to crypto, buddy. But I gotta let you guys know before I get into this video that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Just a homie Crypto J, and I'm just really talking about the news and a little bit of price action that's already happened. So again, don't go out and buy anything that you see in this video, but as you guys can see, the market is getting hammered in a way that we've never seen, never ever seen. Okay. Ever. This is unprecedented. As a matter of fact, guys, the amount of liquidations during COVID, like 1.9 billion, the amount of liquidations just yesterday, guys, close to $20 billion in liquidations from the crypto market. Totally unprecedented in the history of Bitcoin, the sharpest correction we've ever seen, ever. And I told you guys last week, as a matter of fact, I haven't made a video in 7 days, which is crazy because I don't make a video and then the price goes down insane. But I told you guys last week that when Trump has news on a Friday, I'm shorting the market. I said that, and look what happens. Trump announces on Friday this terrible news, and in my opinion, I'm so upset. I've already been telling you guys this is the worst bull cycle I've ever been a part of. This is the most market manipulation I've ever seen, and now I literally have proof. The fact that we have had more liquidations in the past 2 days than ever in cryptocurrency history. I told you. I told you. So, again, we'll see what kind of happens from here. Bitcoin now coming in at 110. Trend has not fully broken down, but dang, man, it's not looking good here. I mean, technically, oh man, see what happened was, this is what really makes me mad, is we have this big peace treaty, right? The big one that we've all been waiting for, right? All those poor children over there. And literally the next day he announces a 100% tariff on China and absolutely destroys every single long. And literally it's very sad because a lot of people that leverage trade, and this happens every year, and I've already shared something on Twitter. Every year, people lose their lives in this market. And this is why I tell you guys, do not over leverage. Do not put yourself in a situation where you do not have a end strategy, or your end strategy is a permanent one that you're going to regret. Because, well, not that you're going to regret, but that your family will, like your family will miss you and stuff. So, as you guys can see, Bitcoin really dropping all the way down to 104. I talked about the fact that if we were to break down off of, um, if we were to break off of this, if this was a rising wedge here, that we could see a correction all the way down to really down here, right? All the way down to 75K Bitcoin. Didn't think that was going to happen with all the good news that came on. Again, a lot of people thought that Bitcoin shooting all the way up to 124 off of the heels of the peace treaty. And then again, Trump says, oh, this was totally unprecedented that China, we have to impose a tariff on China. We have to do this right now while the market is doing well. We have to do it right now. After you just gave the news that everybody's been waiting for, everybody's been bullish on, a peace treaty between those two parties. I don't even want to say the words because I feel like they run everything, and I feel like I'm constantly being censored and I can't really voice my opinions or on anything. But I do think that that is just kind of crazy that that would happen, and now Bitcoin's sitting down at 110. I also think it's crazy how his son has already made over $80 million in cryptocurrency. No crypto experience, by the way, comes in and makes $80 million, and then we see a $20 billion liquidation in Bitcoin, the likes of which, again, we've never seen. And look, it's across the board, guys. Ethereum down a whopping 17%. 17% of an asset that is like close to half of $1 trillion is insane. That is an insane amount of money that just went out of Ethereum alone. Same thing with XRP, down 20% in the past 7 days. In the past 24 hours, Solana down 15%, and in the past 7 days, down 22%. And of course, the lower you get, the higher these numbers are going to look because the market caps are smaller. But again, is the cycle over, or is this just a dirty trick, Another dirty trick, right? We've been really jerked around. Man, this cycle sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the worst cycle. I already said that. I already said that this is the worst cycle that I've ever been a part of, and it's not even fun, bro. Like, this is not fun. I'm investing for the long term, and I am buying these dips, by the way. I'm looking to still accumulate. I'll still say that, but is there a reality that we could really drop down to 80K? It's a reality. It's a possibility. Anything could really happen. I do think that the market is being manipulated, so you know the fact that it looks so bearish right now could be an indicator that it's going to pump. That's literally how manipulated the market is. Like, they just want to liquidate people at this point, which again is usually what happens during an accumulation zone anyway. They're trying to liquidate you, but again, the amount of liquidations that we saw in the past 24 hours, it's disgusting, it's evil, and I don't know any other words other than, the people that are responsible for this are evil people, because again, people lose their lives in these situations, and it's very sad. And I've talked about these types of situations all the time. I talk about this all the time on my channel. Do not over leverage. Do not do this. And again, a big influencer, one of these big influencers that you guys love so much, ended his life because he was over leveraged. And, it's just very sad. Very sad. So let's talk about some Toshi, because Toshi actually is not performing badly. I just want to throw that out there. Toshi's only down the past 24 hours 4%. When you look at the rest of the market, again, when you look at even Solana's down 15% right now, and people are not selling their Toshi. This makes me very bullish on this project. The fact that this is still very much intact, actually. This actually doesn't look bad at all. Even on our daily looks like we got to be a little bit careful, but I mean, Toshi is responding pretty nicely. 4 hour looking a little concerning here. This rejection off of this bottom Keltner is a little bit concerning. Definitely need to see more volume, but again, the fact that we weathered yesterday's storm, I mean, the fact that we're only down 4% today, I mean, this is, to me, shows that we still have a strong community with Toshi here. Now, we got to be careful also on our 3-day, right? Because you could see we did break below this bottom Keltner channel, but this is still an uptrend. This is still solid. So, um, I always say the trend is your friend, right? I don't bet against the trend. I just try to go with the flow, right? You can see Bitcoin right now looking very sus, because is Bitcoin still in an uptrend? I mean, technically yes, but if we break this neckline here, then it can be bad. I mean, look, this is an uptrend right here. This is consolidation. So I would say Bitcoin is technically consolidating, and it's been technically consolidating since the 11th of, really way over here. This thing has really just been riding sideways. But again, if we break this neckline right here, if we drop below this point, if we get any lower than this, guys, any lower than 110, you can expect to see a massive sell-off. And what I'd be concerned about right now is, again, because this all happened on a Friday, which I told you guys, again, when this man speaks on a Friday, whenever he has an announcement on a Friday, guys, it, hold your horses and listen to what he has to say, because I have a funny feeling that the market is going to dump to crap. It's insane. And I would also be prepared for a bloody weekend. And I'll tell you guys that already right now. Today's Saturday. I mean, a little late to be saying it's going to be a bloody weekend, right? When things are already starting to see some sell off. But again, we talk about this sideways consolidation being a lack of volume, being a lack of demand, right? People are not buying it. They're concerned about it. If anything, we might see an influx of shorts. We've already seen an influx of shorts. But what's going to happen when all these people start loading up on shorts is that these guys are going to get their behinds liquidated again, because they're going to squeeze them. It's going to be a short squeeze, and then the price is going to jump up. But what I'm concerned about is if that happens on a Monday. If we have a short squeeze on a Monday, I do not like early in the week bullish action, because look, let's say we see a squeeze on this Monday, which already, look, we got a bear flag forming here. If we break down off of this, we could see a squeeze happen, maybe down around 105, and the price will jump up a little bit. But look what we'll have forming there. If we go down right here and then we form this little check mark, that Nike check, I always tell you, it means don't do it. Is an indicator that, again, we're going to see some more sell off, and that is what you call a bear flag. So that's really what I'm paying attention to. Bitcoin decides it wants to break down, it's going to be a bloodbath. Right now, honestly, it is impossible to predict this trend. Literally. I mean, even though I'd say that we do a pretty good job over here, well, I do a pretty good job on my channel of doing this, I will tell you right now that this is impossible to predict because, again, this what happened yesterday, totally unprecedented. As you guys could see, our fear greed index went all the way back to 35, and our altcoin season ticker went all the way back to a 32, right? So that's not good. You could see though, and also I just want to point out too, go watch my last video. Please go watch my last video. It speaks for itself. I made it a week ago. I talked about when Trump has an announcement on a Friday, and I also talked about the RSI being overbought. Right now, if you look at our RSI, we're very oversold right now. This is an indicator that we can see a pump happen pretty soon, or at least that we should see a pump happen pretty soon. We were extremely overbought last week. So again, go watch my video, man. My tone has not changed. I'm not changed. I'm not over here flip flopping or anything. Everything has been exactly the same. Go watch any of the videos that I've made. I just want to point that out. But again, we're oversold right now. There's a chance that we could see a jump up. I'm concerned if we do see a short squeeze, which we will see a short squeeze. And you can bet your behind we'll probably see a short squeeze happen sooner or later. In this situation, especially considering how much we're down. Again, we're heavily oversold right now. $20 billion in liquidations. And what's going to happen is these guys want to make money, right? We all want to make money, right? So what do you think a lot of these savvy investors that are leverage trading are doing? They're going to start rolling in with the shorts. And again, they're going to get absolutely stomped out. And that is really what has been happening since July. We've been seeing a lot of these guys getting their behinds liquidated, a lot of fake outs. A lot of times we're thinking that Bitcoin's going to break out and it breaks down. Even Bitcoin shooting all the way up to 126, making a new all-time high, and then falling all the way to 110. Totally unprecedented, guys. I'm telling you, this was a historical thing that you witnessed yesterday. It is insane that this happened in the market. Totally insane. I'm shocked. I am shocked. And I've been doing this for too long. Oh, close to now 8 years on YouTube with it and being in crypto for a very long time. So again, never ceases to amaze me, but that was a historic event that happened yesterday. Hopefully that is the grunt of it. I do think that this correction could have possibly been the final correction. I still do think that this correction could finally have been, or that this could be the final correction. Maybe we can start seeing Bitcoin start ticking up pretty soon. Again, we have not had it blow off top to our cycle. So in my opinion, this is just what an accumulation zone looks like. Like I said, it's a lot of people getting liquidated in an accumulation zone. People looking for better positions, stuff like that. And this is, in my opinion, I've been saying the best time to be accumulating is right now. This is what an accumulation phase looks like. We've seen this happen in Trump's last cycle. This is actually looking very eerily similar, which is what I've been saying since for 2 years now, since this cycle started. For 2 years. This cycle started in 2023. So a lot of you guys got on the bandwagon in 2024. But again, this has been business as usual over here at JTalks Crypto. So I expect nothing less than a volatile ride to the top with Bitcoin, but I don't think Bitcoin has topped out yet. I think that Toshi coin is responding super nicely. As a matter of fact, if this breaks above this Keltner channel here, it can be big, and Toshi can have a fat run up, especially if we get some of that euphoria back in the market. Let's say they have another meeting later on next week. I heard that Trump's meeting with the president of China, and they're gonna have a meeting, and Trump says, "Oh, things can change very fast." Yeah, I bet they will change very fast now that everything's totally dumped and people just lost their lives, lost inheritance, lost money, lost all kinds of stuff. Which, by the way, guys, how long have I been telling you guys to stop over leveraging? Stop doing that. Look what happened. Like, literally, stop doing that. Stop doing that. If there's one thing that you guys, I want you to take away from my channel is please stop doing that. Stop being so greedy. Check your greed at the door because you're going to get wrecked and you're not going to be around when Bitcoin does go on to do amazing things. The people that dollar cost average into projects that they like, they tend to win. And you guys will see that over and over and over. I've even seen that personally myself with Bitcoin. that the people that have just been stacking chips have been the people that have done the best in the game. These people that try to leverage trade, swing trade, and all that stuff, the people that you guys love so much to follow, they're literally like falling off right now. So this is about that time where you're going to start seeing a lot of these influencers disappear, where you're going to start seeing a lot of people doing crazy things. You're going to hear some insane stories on Twitter of people's reactions to the market and people taking permanent action, stuff like that. I hope you guys are not thinking about doing anything like that. Again, I hope you guys have been listening to me and not the other guy when I've been telling you do not leverage, do not over leverage trade. I'm sorry, you could trade leverage if you want, even though it's very dangerous to trade with leverage. But do not over leverage. Do not be in over your head. I've already been hearing horror stories on Twitter of people that are doing this, and it really needs to stop. It needs to stop all these videos that these YouTubers make that say things are going to go up 500% in the next 48 hours. You guys wonder why I get so mad about it? Is because people literally lose their lives behind stupidity being said like that. And that's why I don't push that type of narrative on my channel. And I know that if I say tomorrow that Toshi coin will go up 500%, that you guys will all love the video and it'll get 200 likes and it'll get more views and stuff like that. But what justice am I doing? What are you learning? Like what would that do for cryptocurrency? It would just be bad. And that's really what the space has turned into. It's turned into a very watered down version of itself. And you have a lot of people that again are making some claims that literally could land them in prison and should land them in prison because again people lose their lives behind this type of stuff. So I just want to again make saying that all to say, guys, do not over leverage. It's okay to just put a modest amount of money into cryptocurrency. It's what you call responsible. All you guys that are out here doing crazy things in order to make money, like selling your house and doing all this wild stuff, it's not the time to do that. It's not the time to go. It's never the time to go all in on cryptocurrency. And I'm Crypto J, and I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for years. A smart investor will tell you it's never time to do that. Do not even think to do that. Like literally, Bitcoin. And so what? Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does go up to 1 million, which again I still think it will go up to 1 million, but I'm not trying to be over leveraged. I just don't get that, bro. Like there's one guy, he's like, "Oh, I sold all my stuff and I'm living out of my car and I'm all in on Bitcoin right now and da da da." I'm just like, "Bro, like shut up. Shut up and stop saying that. Even if that's your life and that's what you decide to do, don't don't. Dude, we just literally Bitcoin, this bull cycle started 2 years ago, guys. 2023. So you guys buy the tops and then you sell your car, you sell your house, or you sell everything and go live in your car or whatever. Don't do that. Because what could happen is you could be living in your car for the next 4 or 5 years. That's real. Because that's what we already, that's pretty much how long these pullbacks and these recessions take. Sometimes it could be like 3 or 4 years before this thing starts picking up some volume again. We've seen it with Bitcoin and all these YouTubers, all of a sudden they disappear, right? They disappear. They tell you, oh, it's gonna go up 700, 900%. 4 bazillion% and it's going to get listed on every exchange. And then these guys disappear when Bitcoin sees a correction. And I'm the first one to tell you, do not over leverage. Bitcoin will see a correction. Corrections will happen. We will likely even see Bitcoin drop under a 6-figure Bitcoin. Trip that, buddy. Trip that. And I would even almost bet you on that. Okay? So just understand that again. This is going to be volatile, but I do not think that we've reached the top of this cycle. I do not think that this is the end of this cycle. I think that this cycle is just going to be a little bit more drawn out, right? A lot of people thinking that Q4 was going to be really hot. Maybe Q4 still will be really hot. Again, if this is the last pullback, we could still have a very hot Q4. And I told you guys just last week that we could still see a top on Bitcoin. We could still see Bitcoin hit all-time high. Did that happen last week? Yeah, it did. Spot on the money, Crypto J. Good job. Best in the game. I'll be saying that until I'm blue in the face. But I just want you guys to understand that again. Do not be going over your head. Do not be doing too much. It's not the time to do that. Bitcoin can see a significant correction right now, and you could lose your chips before the market takes off. And this is really what happens. in an accumulation zone, right? These big institutions are all buying up all these dips, and you guys are panic selling. You guys are making stupid decisions. But it was stupid decisions from the beginning when you started over leveraging. And that's why I tell you guys, when you're spending money that you can afford to lose, you're not emotional about it. If I'm putting $30, $40 into the market, I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to be checking the charts and like a junkie and all this. Like, that is a, bro, you are like, ah, man. It just, I see it so many times, and people buy the top and then they'll sell the dip and they'll be over leveraged. And I'm just like, dude, who told you to get into cryptocurrency? Who told you that this would be a good space for you? You're doing it wrong. And you learn that from, again, doing it wrong. I've done it wrong. I'm not going to act like I've been the best trader since forever. I've learned from, I've made all the mistakes. And now I try to discourage you guys from making mistakes, because not only have I learned from the mistakes, but from being on YouTube for so long and having a massive community, I've pretty much seen everything. I've seen people get liquidated for millions of dollars. I've seen people send Bitcoin to an Ethereum address and lose $2 million. I've seen people, pretty much you name it, I've seen it. And I don't want to see it happen to you guys. And that's why, again, I try to be responsible with the things that I say on this channel and try to teach you guys, um, again, just some things that will help you be in the game a little bit longer. You got to understand that probably 98% of people in cryptocurrency will lose. Everybody wants to make it seem like we're all going to be winners, but we're not. That's not reality. Most of you guys will lose. I could even lose, right? But it takes time, it takes patience. When you're early in an asset like Bitcoin, in my opinion, again, our market cap's only at 3.6 trillion, smaller than Apple again now. So we're still smaller than a lot of these big, huge companies. But at the same time, you have the stock market that's like $90 trillion right now. I mean, I am somebody who believes that the crypto market will be bigger than the stock market, and probably more like the forex market in size. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Those are just my points of view. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I just really wanted to encourage you guys to make smart decisions and to not be over leveraged in this game, and kind of give you a little bit of my opinion on what could possibly happen. So I want to know what you guys think, though. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you enjoying these videos also? Do you want me to make more? I need to know, because I don't want to be wasting my time. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.